whenever our next guest comes in to visit, we always learn a new perspective from the Motivational Monday series, and she is the best at it.
Of course, our dear friend Stacy Hawkins Adams joins us this morning to talk about, as the first quarter comes to a close, now is a great time to check in on your goals and your growth. Good morning to you, Stacy.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Welcome back as usual. This is it. Reflect and refresh. Now is the time. We're finished with the first 3 months, hopefully turning a quarter now, and now we're into the second quarter, the second part. I was going to say the year, but that's not true. Second quarter of the year.
Right, exactly. And can you believe, how did we get here?
Right.
Time flew by. You know, one of the first questions I started with, even I ask myself these questions before I come on to ask our viewers. And so the question is, do you even remember what you said your goals were for January? Because we've had such a busy...
Get through it.
Right. We've had such
One day at a time.
It was January.
Right.
Yeah.
You may not even remember what your New Year's resolutions were, but now is a time as you kind of look back, you can just look at what you have accomplished. What are the things that either you set out to do or somehow they happened for you that were good and positive? But this is a time to pause and say, okay, tomorrow is a new chapter. What do I want the next quarter to look like? What do I want the next 3 months to look like? And perhaps it simply starts with, what does success look like for me? It doesn't have to be defined by anyone else but you. What does it look like for you?
So obviously everybody has a different take on this. It's like, for me, winter, my goal is always just get it over with. And because I'm a summer and spring kind of guy. But obviously there were things that were accomplished. There were some issues that popped up that had to be addressed. And okay, we made it to springtime. Is that enough is that the kind of thing you want to think about? It's like, well, okay, I made it through that.
Well, I think absolutely for this year, for sure. And I think, because as we said, so much is going on in our world, I think we always want to lead with gratitude. So if the one thing you can say is, I've made it to another day, I've made it to another week, I'm about to enter another month, there's so much to be grateful for just in waking up to experience the new day. So I think we can start there as the baseline. And sometimes that's just enough. Sometimes it's just, I had a great nap this weekend, and that's your success.
I'll be grateful for that.
Sometimes it's you lost the 10 pounds or you achieved a goal. I wrote 3 chapters in the novel that I'm working on. So you can have, I call major and minor goals. You can start small, you can take baby steps. You really get to define what success looks like for you. And when you do that, it sort of takes that pressure off, the guilt of, oh, I'm not doing what my neighbor's doing. I'm seeing the highlight reel on social media. I'm not traveling the world. I'm not doing these things that others are doing. But what are the things that feed your soul? What are the things that make your heart smile? And maybe you need to sit and journal and write that list of things down. And when you look at that, then that can help you chart your course for the next quarter.
I love how you said, so success looks different for everyone else. Maybe this is the right time. It's spring break. Everyone taking that break, coming back refreshed and reflecting on what we had done. What does this spring break, or just break in general, do to help get us through the next 3 months, if you will?
Absolutely. And if you think about it, there are those milestones. You talk about spring cleaning. People talk about changing the batteries in their smoke detectors. There are these things that we do. We talk about springing forward with the times on our clock. So there are things that are sort of just set seasonally for us anyway. So why not take advantage of the things that life is calling us to do anyway, or the things that we need to do to take care of our homes and our families, and again, turn internally with that.
I've got a question, and you mentioned something a second ago. You said you journal.
Yes.
I've never done that.
Yes.
And I've read books about famous people who journal like pages every morning, and I'm going like, what do you got to say? You were asleep. You know, you write down and write it, 8 pages when they wake up in the morning. Is that something you do? Obviously, you said you do journal. Do you do it at the beginning of the day, end of the day, or how does that even work to kind of note those things that you've accomplished?
That's a great question. I think journaling is different for everyone. I recently taught a journaling workshop to a group of women, and I told them that journaling is what you could want it to be. So you could get a notebook. If you're like, I'm not a journal guy, I'm addicted to journals. So I have like 25 journals with nothing in them yet, just because they were pretty. so I'll get to them. But you can start with a notepad and you could just write down, what does success look like for me this week? What does success look like for me for this month? You can chart a course on a notepad. I went to a workshop on Saturday, and it was a physical fitness workshop. And I actually took a note card because I also love stationery. So I buy blank note cards sometimes, and I had these 2 note cards laying around, and I had a notepad I could have written on, but I actually took one of the note cards and I wrote down the tips that she gave us in the workshop. So I'll take that note card and stick it into one of my favorite journals. So journaling is really what you make it. It's really just taking time to pause, think about the things that we often keep in our mind. You just get them on paper. And sometimes I'm mindlessly writing, like, I don't know what I want to write today, but I think the sky is blue, or I'm excited about XYZ. And you'll surprise yourself by what pours out of you when you just allow yourself to connect with the paper.
I love that. And sometimes you come back to it just to see, what did I write down yesterday? What did I write down a week ago? Oh yeah, does that still hold true now?
Yeah, it gives you clarity.
It does.
All right.
Like
Refresh and renew. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Find your way
forward.
forward.
All right. Big thank you to Stacy for coming in, and we always look forward to her next visit.
And Stacy offers weekly Motivational Monday emails. If you're interested in subscribing, you can visit StacyHawkinsAdams.com.
There's much more in store for you to enjoy when Virginia This Morning returns after break. Stacy came in today and was great, and I'll put that in there.